I've been a fan of One Piece since the day I was formed. When I came out the womb, the doctors could not handle the strength of my hockey as it brought them to their knees. Alright, nah. I got into One Piece when I was a junior in high school, which was about around the time of the Katakuri fight. I was into anime for like a while before that, but I never really got into One Piece despite hearing all the good things about it. I definitely wasn't scared of the number of episodes since I already watched Naruto. But yeah, one day I decided to give into it. And let me tell you, I'm very glad that I did. It took me a while to ease up to it, but after All On Park, I was completely down. I fell in love with the characters, the fights, the designs, the music, the themes, and especially the world building of One Piece. It introduced me to this wonderful community, and I found my new favorite channels in people like Brago DAce and Mr. Morge. I could sit here all day and talk about how much One Piece has affected me, but that ain't what this video is about. There are a bunch of theories in the One Piece community regarding what's going to happen by the end of Wano. I'm definitely not feeling all of them, but it's an interesting thing to think about. However, the one I disagree with the most is the possibility of the Grand Fleet showing up. Now, it can make sense to some because it has some basis behind it, but I think there are a few things that just don't work in the story if they do show up. So, let's get into it. Also, spoilers for anyone not caught up to chapter 1005. This is your only warning. To start, let's throw out the fact that yes, it would be pretty cool if the Grand Fleet showed up. I'm not even disputing that. I think they're pretty fun. But besides that, I think it's a bit too much to add a Grand Fleet to the fray. The story of Wano is centered around the people of the country and their struggle with the tyrannical rule of Orochi and Kaido. I think it's fair to say that not everyone gives a care about the Scabbards, but you have to realize this is also partly their story. And as such, they have to have some attention when it comes to the narrative. But I don't think that works if the Scabbards don't do anything significant in the final battle. This is not only a battle for Luffy to make a name for himself amongst the major players in the game, but also a story about liberating the people of Wano and getting revenge for what happened 20 years ago. The Scabbards fighting Kaido started, it seemed like it was going to give them a huge spotlight, but it ended up just showcasing how powerful Kaido is. It was expected, of course, but that doesn't mean that the Scabbards don't deserve a win in this fight. Even Kaido would be a top executive in Dressrosa, so I don't think they are out in the fight yet. Adding the Grand Fleet into the mix complicates things even further. If we're going to give them attention too, it kind of muddles the whole reason we're even here in the first place. Sure, they won't take up much screen time, but it turns the battle from a rebellion into a regular old pirate fight. Even if they end up making a grand sacrifice which has been majorly foreshadowed, I'll be okay with it because they did something of importance other than gathering everybody to get here. Other Wano characters also need to finish their arcs as well. Momo may not become the Shogun of Wano by the end of the story, but we need some indication that he's headed there. We also know nothing about Yamato or what his arc will entail. There's just so many other characters with important roles in this arc that adding a bunch more would do nothing but spread order thin. We all know that the Straw Hats are reaching higher and higher on the world scale, so it also means that the crew will have to get stronger and stronger as we go. When the arc first started, I felt like this would be another Enies Lobby situation. Each member would get to showcase their strengths, new abilities, and prove why they're destined to be on the crew of the Pirate King. However, with the progression of the raid, it becomes more and more uncertain. Oda keeps mixing up matchups, though it has been a bit more clear who's fighting who in recent chapters. That being said, it is really important to have the Straw Hats each get a win here. The pirate crews from now on will be on this level or greater, so being able to beat the Tobiroko and the commanders will place them in the top tier category. Most of the Grand Fleet is a companion to the Tobiroko anyway, but I don't want to have a situation where they have to receive help to win. This doesn't include the rooftop or the team-ups within the crew. Besides the fact that they won't have any certain role to play since the more important fights will be for the Straw Hats, they take out screen time for their own little scuffles and whatnot. Hell, I don't even know if they'll be fighting anything but fodder. Anyway, the point is that they can't be involved in the Straw Hats' success here if Luffy is really going to be a potential Yonko after this. I just think that if the crew is going to step up here, it has to be through hardships like the fights in Enies Lobby. A small tab that I want to add here is that seeing them now would ruin a potential moment where they have a special interest in the final war. They could very well meet up with everyone before the battle and charge in all at one time, but I think it would be a cool idea for them to come in unexpectedly when the odds were against the Straw Hats. It'd only be a good idea if it isn't done twice though. They're already foreshadowed to be in the fight that shapes the world going forward, so giving them that interest here will slow the moments to come later. The biggest anomaly in my reasoning is the fact that the Big Mom Pirates are here. Do the Grand Fleet stand a sliver of a chance against them? I would say no, but I don't know, maybe they've been juicing up. The fact is that someone's gonna have to fight them when they arrive. What sucks is that all the heavy hitters are busy right now. Each tribe is in or headed to a battle, and all the other allies are locked in. The alliance is already down in numbers, so adding the Big Mom Pirates crew along with the strong powers they possess would make defeat inevitable. Which is actually a good reason for the Grand Fleet to show up and provide support. Maybe the Big Mom Pirates never come up the waterfall, who knows? All I know is that in that situation, a backup from the Grand Fleet or intervention from the Marines would be needed. Forget everything else going on, it's gonna be a sweep if they go up there. Now, I'm not at all saying that it can't happen and make sense. Oda introduced time travel and made it work flawlessly in a single chapter, so I don't doubt the man's abilities. I'm just skeptical of the hype surrounding additional support coming to Wano. The supernova showing up is an interesting concept, but I don't see why some of them would come. Bonnie and the Rouge don't seem interested in taking out Emperors, and it would be odd to shove them in here at the last second. There's also the possibility that the Marines show up, but I think they got their hands full with Mihawk and the other warlords. And if you think Hancock not finna tear Kobe's behind up, you are sadly mistaken. There is still a lot to happen in Wano, so we can't come to any conclusions yet. I just want to share my opinion on a topic that I see brought up a lot. Let me know what you think and if you agree or disagree on the Grand Fleet showing up to save the day. I'll definitely be dipping my hand in more anime and manga videos, especially One Piece related ones. So make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.